he was saying one of the first things he did when he was hired was come to visit you.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that, and what do you remember about it?
Yes, I remember. He just saying that we're going to have the best offense in the country, and I was going to get the chance to play early.
And he said that you needed some convincing that he was going to throw the ball deep, throw it downfield.
Oh yeah, he came here saying he's throw it 3 or 4 times a quarter. He's going deep, and that he's going to have the most passing, most rushing, and most productive offense in the country.
Did he give you physical reasons, or did you just take him at his word?
I just took it at his word. Either way, if he wasn't coming, I would still come to Clemson. So.
What was it? How did you get involved with Clemson to begin with? Just curious.
I think around my sophomore year, they was like probably it was around my first or second offer, and coach always came down there, but he couldn't talk to me or whatever. And it just clicked off when he first started checking on my grades and coming out every week, watching my games, calling me like every chance he get, he called me, and when he got the chance to call me, and we just always talked and had a bond.
Was that Coach Scott?
Coach Brad Scott.
Okay.
Was there anything? I mean, were there any players up here that you followed and thought, that's the reason I want to go to Clemson?
Not really. I just kept on like C.J. Spiller, all the stars that was on the team, and basically people was down in Clemson because 6 and 7. I was like, okay, I mean that can change. We got a lot of good players coming in with the players already here. Then we got another totally different offense, which we got a lot of top receivers coming in. So I didn't really listen to the record, watch the record.
You never at all thought, man, they're not going in the right direction. I don't know if I should do this.
Not at all.
It takes a lot of will.
I mean, anything can happen.
Yeah.
When was the first time you heard of Clemson, being that you're all the way down there and they're all the way up here?
My sophomore year when they came down. He came down and he couldn't talk to me. He just seen me, shook my hand. After that, we started talking like a little bit when he got a chance to talk.
Was there a lot of pressure on you to stay in state?
No, not at all. It was my decision.
And when was the first time you came up here?
That was when I came to camp my junior year. I came out of camp and they held a camp out there, receivers, cornerbacks, and stuff like that. So I really got to meet some of the players, stay with some of the players, and then the coaches.
Was it something where you sort of just felt like you fit in right away?
Yeah, it was nice, quiet, pretty. It was we checked the academics room and stuff like that, and met some of the teachers around that time. So I just really fell in love with it.
Were you able to get your family up here to see it with you?
Actually, they came up here like my senior year, I'd say probably 5 or 6 months ago, and we came up here and they saw it and they just loved it. So we just decided. Well, I've been decided. I knew I was coming to Clemson like my sophomore year. I just never wanted to choose early. I just wanted to make the right decision. So I just held it off for a while.
Sammy, a couple of times you talked about you have used the word quiet to describe something you thought would be attractive in a college experience. Did you want to get out of an urban setting? I'm just kind of curious because I've heard that you use that word several times, and I'm just curious if it was important to you to go to some place that maybe was a little bit slower and a little less. I don't know. Just curious.
I mean, I just like this place because it's hard to get in trouble. You gotta actually find trouble or go do something very stupid to get in trouble. So that's why I like it. And it's not too much going on. I mean, all the people around you like Clemson fans, and it's just like family. You don't have to run around looking for nobody, looking for trouble.
And from what you talked about, I remember when you talked about that one day about your adolescence. I mean, you grew up in a place where trouble would be easy to find if you wanted to, right?
Yeah.
Talk a little about that, the contrast.
Oh, where I came from, it was rough. It was drugs, stealing, shooting, violence, and stuff like that. I mean, I just wanted to get away from that and just don't be afraid to go outside and just go outside and have fun and go with friends and stuff like that.
Was that really sort of the main thing that sold you on Clemson to begin with?
Yeah, when I came out, it was nice, quiet. Everybody was friendly. Everybody say hey, and stuff like that, and academics, basically.
As a young teenager, how did you keep yourself out of that culture down there? Because it would seem like a lot of people just get sucked in because there's no choice.
I just stayed busy. I basically lived at that school. Just always football, class, teachers. When I get home, it'd probably be like 7, 8 o'clock at night. That's just take a shower, eat, and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Most of the time, or I just always go out, we'll go out and play football somewhere, run around, run routes, somewhere else at the field. So I just never really stayed in the neighborhood like that.
Is it one of those places where you just sort of keep your head down and don't ask questions and mind your own business? Is that kind of like it was?
I mean, not really. I mean, everybody knew me. They wouldn't
Right.
let me do it, but I'm just saying, it's just being around and just seeing it. You be like, dang, like, it's really what it is. But I just wanted to get away from all that.
Did people make an effort, when they saw your potential as an athlete? Were there people who made an effort to try to protect you from what the danger of the streets would be like?
Well,
Or was that
they always
something
kept me
you
from
were-
around me. I've never been around it like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people would be like, just stay humble. Like, people that's doing it, just stay humble and don't get caught up in all this stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they just never really did it around me. I mean, they'll tell me to go somewhere else if they is doing it.
Did your parents play a big role in that as well, kind of keeping you humble and grounded?
Most definitely. I mean, if it wasn't from them, I wouldn't be humble, I think. So they just taught me the principle of being humble and just believe you can just do anything instead of just going out there doing it the wrong way. Just do it the right way.
Were there any other, I guess, recognizable football players from Fort Myers or from that area that were kind of mentors to you growing up?
Oh, not really. It was basically just my coaches and stuff like that. My uncles and my parents.
It sounds like you kind of do the same stuff now that you did then. Just you talked about how much time you spent at Vickery Hall and just focusing on football.
I just do the same thing, Vickery Hall, football, most of the time.
Almost too busy to get into trouble, aren't you?
Yeah, I really don't have time. Like, once I get out of practice, I got to go to Vickery. And once I get out of Vickery, go home, take a shower, and eat, and go to sleep.
It sounds like you're a young man with a plan, a goal. Obviously, most guys that come to Clemson in your situation want to go to the league. But do you have a plan beyond that? And what do you hope to do with your life?
I'll just be successful in life and do all the right things the right way. And hopefully I do go to the NFL. But I mean, I got the talent. I just got to keep my head up and just keep doing what I've been doing. But just got to keep being positive about it.
You
Is there
mentioned
something-
academics a couple of times. What would you like to study? Let's keep following up on what you're talking about.
Communication studies. I might do broadcasting, such as if I ever make it to NFL or anything, I can come back and be like talk on shows like that about football, or college or NFL, whichever one. That's what I want to do.
If you didn't play football, what do you think you would do? Yeah, I mean,
I'd probably be
you're
like
driven.
I think I'd be a school teacher, a football coach. That's what I was thinking about doing that at first, but then I just changed it up. I think I'd probably be a school teacher.
Because a lot of times guys that come out of tough environments like you do want to go back and give something back if they've had some success because you feel that there's some people you could affect.
Yeah.
Coach Sweeney talked many times about your football IQ and your study habits. How much film do you watch during a week of an opponent, or and doing those kind of things as well?
Well, I'll probably sneak in here probably like on Monday. Like, well, if I had time off now, I'd be going in there and looking at a little bit of film and stuff like that. And we just all watch film together. And he just always keep us watching our opponents. And then we always studying the plays, going over the plays, us together as a group. And he just always, main thing he worried about is just keeping us prepared and know what we're doing when we get on the field. And work on the little details. That's all he's saying, the little details.
Do you do any studying on your own?
Most definitely when I go to the house, I study a little bit. I don't get to study as much as I used to in the summer, but I study a little bit.
Who was Clemson's competition in the recruitment?
Competition?
Who came in second? I mean, were you locked into going to Clemson so long ago that there really wasn't a second choice?
I really didn't know. I looked at other people, other places, but I already stuck on coming to Clemson no matter what.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think everybody likes to talk about your speed, but two plays stand out to me. Number one, the big play against Florida State. You jammed the cornerback just before you got the ball, and then Saturday you go up over the guy and just take it away from him, and then a stiff arm at the end of the play. Is that physical part of the game something that you take pride in as well as the speed?
Well, as a player, I got to work on getting physical. I like to get in space and run the ball and use my speed, but coach has just been arguing I need to get physical and start playing without the ball, and that's what I've been doing lately. Like faking, when I do my little motions, I have to carry the fake out. I haven't been doing that lately. Now in this game, I just worked on just carrying on my fakes and playing without the ball and working on going up for the ball instead of being wide open catching the ball and actually catching while I defend on me. So that's what I've been working on. That's what I got to improve in.
But it's interesting you should say that because Taj says that the thing he likes the best about you is what you like once the ball's in your hand.
Yeah.
You talked about how, there are a lot of receivers who can run sharp patterns and have speed and all that, but they don't necessarily know what to do after the catch. And he said that he's been so happy with how physically, you can sort of handle contact and such. So
I can handle contact well.
To you, right?
Yeah, it's very important. I can handle contact well while getting hit with the ball. But I'm just saying, like, when the defender on me and the ball goes up and jumping over and competing for the ball, that's why I gotta get better.
What are they doing differently now? From the first game, nobody knew Sammy Watkins, what you could do in a college game. Now, 6 games into it, 5 games later, what are they doing differently to defend you?
It seems like they focus on me a lot, like running a lot of cover 4, cover 2, and they got the linebacker actually looking at me just in case I run a little short route inside. So we watch what they do, and once they did that, I just go in there and tell them what plays open, and we actually run those plays that's open, and I get the ball. Like first half, they was keying on me pretty bad. They was stopping all the plays that was coming to me. So I told him what plays that would be open on my side, and we actually ran them, and it was open.
How did that long catch set up for you? Because it looked like he almost just kind of grabbed it off the guy's back or over his shoulders, essentially.
I don't know. I think he kind of misjudged, and I think he was more afraid of me beating him, getting in front of him and beating him. Yeah. So he was in front of me, so I actually just adjusted the ball, and Taj, he knows if to do it in front of me, throw it backside. Yeah. And I just turned around, flipped my hips, and turned around with it.
There have been a couple of occasions when you've gotten a step on a guy, and Taj has been actually a hair late, and you've actually had to wait on the ball a little bit. If you talk to him about getting rid of it a little sooner?
Yeah, I don't talk to him at game time or halftime. I just throw your arm out, do something. Just throw it as far as you can. But I think it comes with him being fatigued and playing the whole game and his arm get tired.
Sure.
So I really can't blame him for that.
What did you think when you saw him on the ground the other day?
I was like, oh, man, it's bad, because he actually got up, then sat back down. I was like, man, this is serious. But I actually got faith in Cole, because he practiced just like Taj do. So I wasn't really afraid. Like, Cole didn't do bad. He did great.
How's Cole's arm compared to Taj's?
I think he throw way farther. I know that. I mean, he can throw it way out there. But he didn't really take too many shots down the field. I think he was kind of scared of messing up, so he just took all the short passes.
You talk about, you trying to stay quiet, but you're a celebrity here on campus. Or have you noticed a difference walking to class or being in class, people stopping you?
Not really. People don't really stop me. I just go to class. I be back and forth. I mean, they might notice me. Well, they know me in class, but they don't actually abuse it. Like, hey, Sammy, it was like good game, and then we just keep it moving. They don't really bother me like that.
But you almost have a police escort to get off the field on Saturday?
No, I don't remember now.
So you're not getting any autograph requests in class or anything?
I mean, like, the dudes probably ask me. Like, 1 or 2 of them are trying to not the whole class.
You don't like being bothered like that? Is that kind of
Not really.
You're doing a thing here at 2 o'clock, a national thing. You're seeing more of that now, I would guess, the last couple of weeks, right? Is that a distraction, a nuisance, or just you feel that's part of the territory?
Well, Coach always tells me I really don't like doing all that, but it just comes with it. It's good and bad with it, so I just gotta get used to it, I guess.
Yeah, you getting used to this?
Yeah, actually I am.
If you want to be a broadcast major, probably a good thing.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what you got to do right here to be one. So.
You and Sammy met up in that 100-meter. Was it your junior year?
I mean, Mike.
Or sorry.
Yeah.
He's Sammy.
Mike and Sammy.
Mike.
Robinson.
Yeah.
When you and Mike met up for that 100-meter, is that
No, I was senior.
senior?
It was the first track meet that we had ran.
And you said a lot of people came on just to.
I mean, yeah, it was a lot of people there.
You think he got you by like 5/500ths of a second? Is that what it was?
Like 0.1. He ran like a 10.53. I ran like a 10.55. It was one of them.
Does he remind you about it every once in a while?
Oh, not really, because I don't think he know he can't beat me now. So he really don't say too much about it.
So you think you have a step on him now?
Yeah.
Do you have proof of this? Video evidence?
Not really.
Has anybody asked Joe Craig to get in there with the ass?
They always in the locker room playing around about it, but we really don't have time to race.
Yeah.
We really don't be focused on racing. We just more football.
You've had 3 games, 140 yards receiving. I think the record for Clemson in a career is 4, and that was set over 4 years. Does it set into you what you're doing and how prolific you've been out there in the field?
Yeah, it's a great accomplishment, but coaches stand there, don't worry about that. Just keep playing your game, and that's what I do. I really don't worry about the yards. I mean, the yards gonna come with this in this offense anyways. You shouldn't worry about yards. Nobody at receiver should worry about yards because we throw probably 40, 50 times a game, so you shouldn't really worry about yards. I don't think you should.
I talked to Coach Hamp Saturday, and he said that you played quarterback for him.
Yeah.
To begin with, does that help at being wide receiver?
Actually, it do because you have to. At quarterback, you actually got to read the coverage, tell you what they're in. I mean, you see who blitzing, and you know what's going on. Basically, you can look in the secondary and be like, oh, they're in cover 4, or they running cover 2 or cover 3, or he's trying to bump me, or he's running catch technique. So basically, it taught me a lot.
Why did they move you from quarterback to wide receivers? He said it's because another player came in that was.
Yeah, they moved. He was a freshman like me, and they moved him up on varsity. And I wanted to play with Coach Hamp.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to actually have my freshman year. I was like, I want to play freshman. I could have went up on varsity and played varsity, but I was like, no, I want to play freshman with all my friends or whatever. So I played freshman when I came up. There was a lot of politics going on, so I was like, so I talked to my coach. I was like, there's no need to fight for the position. I just go to receiver. And after I started playing receiver or whatever, I started getting noticed and playing a lot of receiver. And then they asked me to play a little bit quarterback. I was like, nah, I don't want to play quarterback. I'm staying at receiver. I don't want to touch quarterback. I just want to stay at receiver.
And now he's at Miami, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually doing all right. He's doing a lot of special teams.
Do you guys text or talk at all?
We actually talk a little bit. We talk a lot. I mean, any free time I got, we text or we'll be on Uvu sometimes. It depends.
It's cool.
Yeah.
And that was a ninth grader, you said, right? You were a
Yeah,
ninth grader.
I was
then?
ninth grader then. Yeah.
Were you good at throwing the football?
Huh?
Were you good at throwing the football?
Say it again.
Were you good at throwing the football?
Yeah. I actually threw it good. It was in playoffs or whatever. And we ran a lot of Wildcat, and I actually threw a touchdown to him, and he was going crazy.
So have you actually talked to Coach Morris about maybe a little play where you?
We actually do how to play. We just never got a chance to. I mean, if it get in a situation where we really need a touchdown, I think we actually got to throw and play.
100 meters, was that just 2 schools meeting up, or is that a regional deal?
It was just a regular track meet. It was like all people from everywhere. Yeah.
How close are you with Mike? I mean, were you guys good friends?
Oh yeah, we was actually good track friends, and we knew each other then. Later on down the stretch, I knew he was committed, and we started talking a little bit and texting and stuff like that.